shall along with me. I'm lodged hard by here at a noble lady's house in the street, the Lady Lodestone's. Wonderful business welcome, where there are gentle women and male guests of several humors, carriage, constitution, profession too, but so diametral one to another and so much opposed as if I can but hold them all together and draw them to a sufferance of themselves but till the dissolution of the dinner, why I shall have just occasion to think my wit is magisterial and ourselves take infinite success in the delight.
Troth, brother Compass, you shall pardon me. I love not so to multiply acquaintance at a meal's cost. 'Twill take me off my freedom so much, or bind me to the least observance.
Why, Ironside, you know I'm a scholar, and part a soldier. I have been employed by some of the greatest statesmen of the kingdom these many years, and in my time conversed with sundry humors, suiting so myself to company as honest men and knaves, good fellows, hypocrites, all sorts of people, though never so divided in themselves, have studied to agree, still in the usage and handling of me, which hath been fair too.
Sir, I confess you to be one well-read in men and manners, and that usually the most ungoverned persons, you being present, rather subject themselves unto your censure than give you least occasion of distaste by making you the subject of their mirth. But to deal plainly with you, as a brother, whenever I distrust in my own valor, I'll never bear me on another's wit, or offer to bring off or save myself on the opinion of your judgment, gravity, discretion, or what else. But being away, you are sure to have less wit work, gentle brother. My humor is being as stubborn as the rest, and as unmanageable.
You do mistake my character of your friendship all this while, or at what rate I reckon your assistance, knowing to long experience that such animals as these are, half-hearted creatures as these, your fox there, unkennelled with a choleric, ghastly aspect, or 2 or 3 communatory terms, would run their fears to any hole of shelter worth a day's laughter. I am for the sport, for nothing else.
But, brother, I have seen a coward meeting with a man as valiant as our St. George, not knowing him to be so, or having least opinion that he were such, set to him roundly, aye, and swinge him soundly, and in the virtue of that error, having once overcome, vowed forever after to err, and think no person, nor no creature more valiant than himself.
I think that too, but brother, I entreat you, I have some little plot upon the rest. If you would be contented to endure a slighting reprehension at my hands, to hear yourself or your profession glanced at in a few slighting terms, would beget me such a main authority of mine, do yourself no disrepute at all.
Compass, I know that universal causes in nature produce nothing but as meeting particular causes to determine those and specify their acts. Now, this is a piece of Oxford science stays with me ever since I left that place. And I have often found the truth thereof in my private passions, for I never feel myself perturbed by any general words against my profession, unless by some smart stroke upon myself they do awake and stir me. Else to wise and well-experienced men, words do but signify. They have no power save with dull grammarians, whose souls are not but a syntaxis of them.
Here's our parson, Parson Pallet here. A venerable youth, I must salute him, and a great clerk. He's going to my ladies, and though you seek him thus without his coat, I dare assure you he's our parish folk. God save my reverend clergy, Parson Pallet.
The witty Master Compass, how is it with you?
My lady stays for you and for your counsel touching her niece, Mistress Licentious Steele, who strikes the fire of full 14 today, right for a husband.
Aye, she chimes, she chimes. Saw you Dr. Rutt, the house physician? He sent for too.
To counsel. Time you were there. And make haste, Parson, keep it around quick dispatch that we may go to dinner betimes, and drink a health or 2 or more to the business.
This is a strange put-off. A reverend youth, but you use him most sir-reverendly, methinks. What call you him? Pallet, please? Or Parson Pallet?
All's one but shorter. I can get you his character. He is the prelate of the parish here, and governs all the dames, appoints the cheer, writes down the bills of fare, pricks all the guests, makes all the matches in the marriage fest within the ward, draws all the parish wills, designs the legacies, and strokes the gills of the chief mourners, and whoever lacks of all the kindred he at first is blacks. Thus holds he weddings up and burials as his main tithing in the gossip stalls. Their pews. He stops still at the public mess, comforts the widow and the fatherless, in funeral sack, sits above the alderman for the ward mote quest. He better can the mystery than the Levitic law. That piece of clerkship doth his vestry awe. He is, as he conceives himself, a fine, well-furnished, and a paralytic divine.
Who wrote this epigram, you?
No, as great a clerk as any of his book. Ben Jonson wrote it.
But what of the other character, Dr. Rutt?
The same wrote that too, but his is shorter and not in rhyme but blank, so I'll give you that too. Rutt is a young physician to the family that, letting God alone, ascribes to nature more than her share. Licentious in discourse, and in his life a professed voluptuary, the slave of money, a buffoon in manners, obscene in language which he vents for wit, is saucy in his logics and disputing, is anything but civil or a man. See, here they are, walking with my lady before the door. We will slip in as we saw him not.
Aye, 'tis his fault she's not bestowed my brother interests.
Oh, Sir Moth?
He keeps off all her suitors, keeps the portion still in his hands, and will not part with all on any terms.
Hic, ilie, lacrimae. Thence flows the cause of the main grievance.
Thus, it is a main one. How much is the portion?
No petty sum.
But 16,000 pounds.
He should be forced, madam, to lay it down. When is it payable?
When she is married.
Oh, marry her, madam.
Get her married. Lose not a day, an hour.
Not a minute. Pursue your project real. Master Compass advised you too. He is the perfect instrument your ladyship should sail by.
Now, Master Compass is a fine, witty man. I saw him go in now.
Oh, is he gone in?
Yes, and a feather with him. He seems a soldier.
Some new suitor, madam.
I am beholden to him. He brings ever variety of good persons to my table, and I must thank him. Though my brother-in-law disliketh it a little.
He likes nothing that runs your way.
Oh, troth, and the other cares not.
He is
He'll
a-
go his own way if he think it right.
He is a good friend. Oh, and there's Master Practice. The fine young man of law comes to the house. My brother brooks him not, because he thinks he is by me assigned for my niece, who will not hear of it.
Not of that ear, but yet your ladyship doth wisely in
To
it.
make him lay down the portion sooner, if he but dream a matter with a lawyer.
So says Master Compass. It is between the lawyer and the courtier which shall have her.
Or Sir Diaphanous Silkworm,
Oh, a fine gentleman, old Master Silkworm's heir.
and indeed courtier, of a most elegant thread.
And so my gossip Polish assures me. Oh, here she comes.